friends, Kim from Stamping Imperfection. Thank you for joining me today. I am playing with some goodies from Maker Forte, and it's all about birthdays and celebrations this month at Maker Forte. And I have this beautiful Shower of Gifts background stamp. It's a beautiful white rubber stamp. They make it right there at their facilities at Maker Forte, and I love it. It comes on a nice hard piece of plastic that you can stamp right on if you want to, or use your MISTI. I've also got the boxed sentiment stamp set, and I love this one because it's a variety of fonts and because I can basically build my sentiments. I also always on my desk I have the happy birthday stamp set and a sentiment for all occasions stamp set, so those are always out on my desk. The sentiment for every occasion has really almost anything you can imagine. They're all in the same font. I love it. The happy birthday one has a lot of happy birthday stuff in lots of different fonts and sizes, so I love that one too. To start out with, I just want to make some backgrounds with this background stamp, and I decided to use my MISTI. One of the things I did do, it had some extra white rubber around the edges, and I really just wanted the edges to be where the gifts were, so I pulled out my little Tim Holtz scissors and just trimmed off that excess white rubber. Super easy to do, and it'll be easier to stamp with, and it fits in my MISTI a little bit better. So I just trim that down a little bit. I never hesitate to trim off that excess rubber when I get rubber stamps. And when I put it in my MISTI, I did pull out the foam mat on the paper side there, because the rubber stamp comes with its own foam, so you don't need that piece of foam in there when you're using your MISTI. So I'm using my clear color Hive ink from Maker Forte. This is my embossing ink, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually heat emboss 3 backgrounds. I'm going to do one in I think it's called blue quartz, and I'm going to do one in gold, and I'm going to do one in clear. This is the blue quartz. Maker Forte has started coming out with their own embossing powders. This is especially pretty. It's actually got some really beautiful blue sparkle in it, and I just went ahead and stamped it in the clear embossing powder, added my powder, and then heat set it. So I did that with gold embossing powder, and I did it with clear embossing powder. And then I went ahead and stamped a couple of backgrounds in just the Eclipse black ink. Love those. And then I did a couple in different colors. So I decided that I just got a couple of their new colors, and I decided I wanted to use their Vegas strip, which is a beautiful blue. I haven't had a chance to play with the new colors too much, and it's time. Why not do a background in a color? And you could do this in any color you wanted, really, and not do any coloring or anything. So that's pretty fun. So I'm going to go ahead and use this Vegas strip blue. Now, Maker Forte has coordinating cardstock. They have coordinating glitters. They have coordinating kaleidoscope powders. You name it, they've got coordinating supplies in these colors. So here are the 5 backgrounds I decided to make into cards. And for the black one, I decided I just wanted to put down some quick color in the packages, and I decided I wanted bright pink. So I pulled out 3 alcohol markers. These are RV17, RV14, and RV21, and I just did basically a streak of dark, light, dark, medium, and light in each open space there, and on the bows. I did not spend very much time coloring this. I just went ahead and colored all the packages pretty much the same way. Really, I just wanted a variation of color in the packages. I could have just colored them all one color. I would have been just as happy with it if I had done that. And I just wanted some bright pink with the black and the white. I just really like the way that looks. So I did go ahead and finish this up, and then I did trim down all my pieces. I originally started with card bases or card fronts that were 4¼ by 5½, but I decided to trim them down to 4 by 5¼ so that I could put a little color around the edge. So I just went ahead and did things to the backgrounds that I wanted to add a little bit more to, and I took this one that I did with the clear embossing powder, and I pulled out 3 of the pink inks, the Color Hive pink inks. I pulled out the bubblegum, which is my lightest color, and added a little bit of that light color to one end of my card front, and then I went ahead and pulled out my medium color, which is flamingo, and I added that to the other end. And I just tried to do a little bit of blending where those 2 colors met to soften the line a little bit. And then I pulled out my third color, which is Tiptree Jam, and added that to the flamingo end. And I just added it to the very end so that I'm getting this ombre effect. And I just keep blending till I get a blend I like. So I'm adding that Tiptree till I get it nice and dark on the end. I pull out my brush for the flamingo, and I go ahead and add some of the flamingo in and just blend the edges so I don't have any harsh lines. So it's going from dark to very light, and I do the same thing with the bubblegum, and I really like the way these 3 look together. I think they're so pretty. I really love these Color Hive inks. I think they're so much fun. So I decided not to do anything to the other ones. Certainly the ones I use the embossing powder on with the gold and the blue quartz, I like the way they ended up. I trimmed everything down to 4 by 5¼ and then I went ahead and added the pieces with foam tape to card bases. Now I put the 2 pink ones on black card bases, I put the blue one on a blue card base, and I added a metallic silver panel to this blue quartz. The blue quartz is very metallic when you move it around in the light, and it's got lots of sparkle. So I decided to go ahead with the like gray metallic cardstock, and you can see there I have all of my card bases. And I got a little lazy when it came time to put the sentiments on. I actually pulled out the new Simple Sayings set that I got from Maker Forte this month. It's called Simple Celebrations, and I pulled out a circle punch and trimmed some down and punched some out, and I'm starting with the blue quartz one that I embossed, and you can see that one of the packages I didn't quite heat set enough. I actually had a little trouble telling when the this particular embossing ink was all done being embossed with the heat tool, and when I went to brush off any excess at the end, I accidentally realized, oops, I didn't actually get this brushed off all the way. So I had some little sentiments I already had cut in my cup, and I pulled out a couple of those. This one just says be happy. I took a couple of the packages that I had stamped in black and just fussy cut them out and colored them in, one with a blue marker, one with a pink marker, just to give that one a little bit more color. Then I also added a strip of cardstock to a couple of these across them. This is one of my go-to card layouts that I use a lot with background stamps. I just like to put a strip across the bottom. A lot of times I'll use a white or black strip and then just add my sentiment just like that, and I think that's perfect layout. It's super quick and easy. You've got fun images on there. For this one I'm not even going to put the strip, although I do think I like it better with the strip. Let me know what you think below. Strip looks better or no strip? I do love the circular. I love that some of these sentiments and the foilable sentiments that you get from Maker Forte can actually be punched out with my punches, because I haven't used them in a really long time, and it's nice to be able to pull them out once in a while. So keeping that really simple, you could put some twine or some ribbon on that, certainly, and give it, jazz these up a little bit like that. I haven't been using too much ribbon and twine, mostly because I got tired of buying it and not using it, so I stopped buying it. And this one just got a little sentiment because I loved the pink packages. I love the color combination. This one is just heat embossed in gold. I didn't even put a colorful mat behind it. I like the white and gold, and I really wanted to play with these boxed sentiments, and I wanted to just do a happy birthday. And it's got that little rectangle in there that's like sort of missing a piece, so you can play around with the sentiment. So I pulled out a piece of white scrap paper and decided that I would do happy birthday. The birthday is a nice big birthday piece. I did pull out that boxed piece for the sentiments and decided I would play with that. I found that I had to fuss with it a little bit to keep it kind of straight. So next time I would probably fuss even more with it to keep it straight. Like, you really will want to play with that little box. I felt like it would almost be easier just to pull out my journaling pen and make the box myself, although it definitely wouldn't be straight if I did that, but I'm okay with that. I actually like the artsy way it looks when you take a journaling pen and just, give yourself a little line around the edge of something. The way that looks. I do it quite a bit, actually. So I'm putting happy in that space, and I'm putting birthday inside the box. I think this is actually a really clever touch for the stamp set to have. So I went ahead and I just did this in black. I didn't really want to heat emboss it in gold, mostly because I wanted a little contrast, and I felt like the gold would be a lot with that, because the background is pretty busy. And you know what? You could pull out your markers or your pencils, or even with a damp paintbrush, and add some color to all those presents on the background for these backgrounds. I chose to leave them white on the inside and just go with the color that I added when I either added the embossing powder or the ink, with the exception of the card that I ink blended and the one that I went ahead and colored in the Copics. So there's lots of ways you could use this stamp set. You could add lots of color or just do some nice color on the outside of the packages. And that's basically what I felt like I did. So I'm going to add a little foam to the back of this particular one and pop that up. Now when I do something like this, I try to pay attention to the rule of thirds. So I'll either put that sentiment on the lower 1/3 of the card or the upper 1/3, and I'll center it so it'll be in the center third vertically. So I kind of play with it to decide where do I want it, and that's exactly what I do. I actually like the way that looks, and I think these are nice, quick, and easy cards to add to my stash or to create a gift set out of. Thanks so much for watching, friends. Have a nice day.